Thank you so much, viewers and cherished listeners. Good to know that you are comfortably seated behind your sets in your homes. I know that it's rained a couple of hours, and so the ground is wet, and that is the reason why you are comfortably seated in your homes, getting ready to join us on this platform, Single Spine, the issues. We are back. This is the second session, as far as last week's concerned, talking to organized labor, their perception or perspective on the overview of the single spine pay policy. And we are here again to continue with that discussion. I'm so grateful to have with me Mr. A.G. Ampong, the local chairman, Public Services Workers Union of Ghana, Atomic Energy Commission, and Ms. Yaudo Tamaklo, Director, Man-Made Disasters with NADMO. And they have joined me on this platform. I will continue by quoting what the President said on May Day, and he goes to say that we are all witnesses to the remarkable improvement since its implementation. Government, as an employer and a custodian of the national interest, expects that labor will reciprocate these increases in wages and salaries with higher level of labor productivity, not with strikes and unbridled agitations. And so these are the words of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, the May Day celebrations held at Esipon Stadium in Sekondi, Takrady. According to him, government has done all in its power to ensure that the labor force is paid well through the implementation of the single spine salary structure. Hence, it is incumbent on them, that's labor, to also work hard to develop this country. Questions have been raised regarding labor agitations, and so organized labor is fully represented here. I'm so grateful to have them around again. A.G. Ampon, local chairman, Public Services Workers Union of Ghana Atomic Energy Commission, and Yaudo Tamaklo, Director, Man-Made Disasters, NADMO. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Good to have you around. Now, let me seek your perspective on current outstanding issues regarding single spine people. Let me start with you, Yaudo Tamaklo.
Thank you. The single spine pay policy, as it stands now, I say without any reservation, is the best thing to have happened to organized labor over a very long period of time.
And you're sure if across board people will agree with what you're saying?
They should agree. If they really understand what trade unionism is and what industrial relations mean, its practices and strategies, if they are conversant with it, they will come to realize that this is the best thing. If you take an overview of the early 70s, 60s, the salary structure in this country wasn't good enough. From the Mills Odoi's time to the Esifo Ali salary review, there were a lot of distortions and overlaps. And organized labor had tried as much as possible to have a sort of uniformed structure to avoid various sectors making demands. And thanks to the initiators of this policy, it has come true. It is for organized labor to protect and defend the single spine. Any attempt at distorting it will spell doom for the workers of this country.
Yeah, we cannot run away from the fact that there's been post-implementation challenges. And so if the challenges are there, then it means that there's a problem. And if the problem is not addressed, there's a possibility for us witnessing all these labor agitations. And so I am trying to fit myself in the shoes of those who think that those post-implementation challenges have affected them so, and that's the reason why they're embarking on that decision.
My brother, the single spine pay policy is not a one-stop shop thing.
Yeah.
It is a process. And we understood that with the implementation over a period of time, there are bound to be bottlenecks. Yeah. And in addressing these bottlenecks, it is not the issue of strikes. It's not the issue of strikes or intimidation. It is not. You see, labor always has a policy of joy-joying than war-warring. It is for us to sit down and talk. For instance, I have maintained a certain
position.
Yes, in terms of salary administration. Let's take the doctors' issue, for instance. The doctors are asking for conversion difference. When they make their presentation, it is flowery. You will love to side with them. But if you sit down to analyze it very well, you will realize that what they are asking for has already been taken care of. So why are you making such demands?
So how come the general public is not aware of what you're saying? That what they are asking for has already been taken care of?
It's because they are listening to the flowery speeches of the doctors. And we think that doctors are so special and nobody wants to antagonize them.
Are they not special group of workers?
Every category of workers in this country is very special. If the nurse does not do his or her work, the efforts of the doctor will get to naught. The laborer in the hospital, the lab technician, the pharmacist. Do you see it? If the policeman do not guard the doctor at night, he will not have the peace of mind to rest for the following day's work.
Now, let me seek your personal opinion on this. Talk about migration. We're talking about 99.7% of public sector workers that have been migrated onto the single spine. Your fair assessment regarding post-implementation challenges and all that, if I ask you to put a percentage to it, what would you say? I mean, as far as Fairwages and Salaries Commission is concerned, their performance? Having
post-migration challenges.
Take all those into consideration and tell me, in your fair opinion,
things are moving on all right. Their doors are opened, and we are still discussing things. From my institution like this, we've got challenges and we've discussed it with them. Do you see it? We believe that issues must be discussed. Let them understand the issues. Let them see that something had gone wrong. Do you see it? Prove it to them. You see, if you prove it to them and they see it, they will give their words. You see, for instance, going back to this doctor's case, the migration difference, the convention difference is already captured in the premium that they are talking about. And there is an enhancement package in addition to that from the HSSS, which used to be their basic salary for 56 hours working period. That had been transposed into the SSS
arrangement
with everybody or most workers, the single spine operates on the 40-hour work schedule. So they had computed the 40 hours for all categories of doctors. After that, the remaining 16 hours was taken care of in the convention difference. Then an enhancement package was added, which brought the single spine higher than what they used to enjoy under the HSSS. So you can't tell me now that you wanted a convention difference. If people are able to understand this, you realize that the doctors do not have any case. They keep on quoting that they work over 200 hours. Yes, the 56 hours, if you multiply it by 4, it gives you over 200 workers. And this has been taken care of. Now, they signed a memorandum of understanding with the health authorities. And in it, permit me to read a portion. The fifth clause says that doctors and dentists shall not be entitled to any ADHA as implemented earlier. Any extra hours done above the 56 hours a week by doctors and dentists should be paid for. Authority for payment should be granted and paid for by head of institution after satisfying him or herself that the extra hours have been duly authorized and earned.
When was this memorandum of understanding signed?
2008.
Oh, okay.
2008. So if this is the arrangement, and the 56 hours, that is the over 200 hours a month thing, had already been addressed, what type of conversion difference are you looking for?
Well, now they've called off their strike. Let's be appreciative.
Yes, they called off the strike.
Yes.
On the basis that government should come and do and pay them whatever they are due.
Yeah.
But the issue is that they are not entitled to anything. They are not entitled to anything. We are trying to bring these issues to the fore because if this arrangement or this payment are erroneously done, it will affect the spine. And we have seen what happened to the spines in other countries, in other jurisdictions, that countries could not pay. And His Excellency, the President, has said that the meat has got into the bone. So if there is any imported distortion on the spine, majority of workers in this country will suffer. Because we cannot sacrifice the majority of workers in this country. That constitute over 80%.
Well, listening to you carefully, I mean, brings to the point that there's a new angle to this whole business about the doctors and all that. But I think emphasis should be placed on the fact that the 2012 market premium payments, which they were demanding, if I'm right, initially was what started the whole thing. And some installment arrangement was made, I mean, in terms of how it was going to be paid in 3 installments and all that. But this is a whole new angle to which you're talking of. You hold on to that. Let me listen to A.G. Ampong. He is, I will come back to you on that issue. Okay. He is a local chairman, Public Service Workers Union of Ghana, Atomic Energy Commission. Although Tamaklo has been talking about this whole thing all this while, and I should give you the opportunity also. Let me seek your fair assessment. I mean, as far as Fairwages and Salaries Commission is concerned regarding this whole single spine pay policy?
Thank you, Cecil.
Yeah.
My assessment, so far as Fair Wages and Salary Commission is concerned, with respect to the implementation of this single spine pay policy, is really they have done a good job. They've done a good job. But no matter what they have done so far, definitely it comes along with challenges. And as at now, the situation that we find ourselves in, with some of the challenges regarding the payment of conversion difference, payment of interim market premium or interim arrangement factor, and also the categories 2 and 3 allowances, which if for some few moments to come they are able to resolve it, definitely we will say we've gone far. Single spine pay policy has come to stay, and we need to make sure that it works fervently. Even with the Public Services Joint Standing Negotiating Committee, within we have a technical committee that has been established to deal with challenges or problems that arises with or from other institutions. When we talk of this convention difference, by the implementation, some institutions and some grades had convention difference, others did not. Convention difference goes with your previous salary, comparing that with the current single spine salary. If, for instance, you had a previous salary of maybe 1,000 Ghana cedis as your basic, and then you have a single spine salary of 800 Ghana cedis, definitely this gives you a difference of 200 Ghana cedis as your conversion difference. Another form of conversion difference that arises is when category 1 allowances are consolidated with your basic salary of your previous salary, and the consolidated salary, that is the allowances with that of the basic salary, sum up together gives you more than your single spine salary, the basic, then it means you have a conversion difference. Conversion difference is dealt with when whatever that you were given or you were taking on migrating onto the single spine policy, you are less than that, you cannot go home worse off. So you'll be paying, or your conversion difference will be paid to you until a time that it will erode or it will diminish to zero. And within that period of time, you may not get any increase in the salary structure. But if for some peculiar reasons, there are some institutions whose conversion difference were dealt with by the implementation of the interim market premium. So the medical doctors are asking that their conversion difference should be paid alongside with the current interim market premium. And that will not go on well with the system. So I really support my senior brother here, but since already there's a technical committee working on this issue, we hope they will understand issues with the technical committee as well and the labor front.
So that it is important to judge all that.
Yeah, exactly.
And the president has even indicated that tasked the Ministry of Employment, Labor Relations, Fair Wages and Salaries Commission for this whole thing to be revised or reviewed, if I'm right. I think this is the next step we should be looking at. And so how should we go about this? I'll throw this one to Yao.
Yeah, before I come to the question, you see, we need to do a lot of public education.
Yeah, yes. Like we're doing now.
Yeah, people must understand. The media should come to our aid. The truth should be told. Let's go a little mathematical, like how Mr. Ampong said. For instance, if someone is on HSS, let's take it 3,000 Ghana cedis before the single spine implementation. 3,000 Ghana cedis basic includes everything. That goes with the 56 hours.
Yeah.
With the 40 hours computation, it brings it to 1,800. Therefore, it means that there is a there is a loss of 1,200.
200, yes.
Now, in the interim market premium arrangement, there is a refund of that 1,200 and an enhancement package of 1,000 Ghana cedis. Added to the 1,800 brings everything to 4,000. So, though the Fairwages, they are yet to start the implementation of the market premium. This is a specialized arrangement to sort out certain categories of workers.
Plus all the enhancements that you
Plus all the
enhancements.
Now, if this thing persists and it is withdrawn, it will affect other category of workers,
yes,
whose population is more than that of the doctors. And that is where some of us are coming from. Yes, there is the need for a public discussion to address some of these bottlenecks. All sectors of the labor force, industry, must come together and let us discuss these things dispassionately. The single spine sought to bridge certain gaps. And if we do not follow that arrangement, we will come to realize that the gap will rather be wider. And this is what we must look at.
I am interested in how we should go about this whole debate, forum, call it, you name it.
Yes.
I mean, to
each trade union center, each labor union or association should have regular debates and invite the Fairwages people to actually explain the policy to them, and let the workers also ask their questions freely. There must be, the baseline is that we must really understand what it is. The categories 2, 3, and 4 allowances are yet to be effected. The market premium is yet to be effected. So we've not really finished with the whole arrangement. And workers are looking forward to enjoying all the benefits under the policy. And so public education at workplaces should seriously be encouraged. And the Ministry of Social Welfare and Labor Relations should actually take up the challenge in collaboration with the Information Services Department to actually create platforms, social platforms, to address some of these things. I see the problem basically as understanding the issues involved in the implementations of the policy. Yes. But if we leave it to individual unions and associations to interpret, they may interpret it like what the doctors are doing, which will be very damaging to the policy.
All right, let's go for a break. We will be back. Emmanuel of Fairwages and Salaries Commission was in town to find out from some students their and some student journalists their perspectives on the single spine pay policy. So we will take that one and then we will get back to the studio, so we'll continue with our discussion. Viewers, stay with us. We will be right back.
Thank you, Cecil. So today we are here at the School of Journalism to find out from students what they think about the single spine implementation process so far and how they believe governments can collaborate well with organized labor to ensure a smooth and successful implementation of the single spine pay policy. Considering the fact that the Fairwages and Salaries Commission has migrated almost 100% of all public sector workers onto the single spine, and you find only 3% agitating, what do you make of the work of the Fairwages so far?
I think the Fairwages and Salaries Commission has done well, but as it has been said, good is not good when better is expected. I think there are more works that they have to do to make sure that the rest of the people who constitute the 3% will stop agitating, because here and there we witness incidents of strikes and a whole lot of issues. So I think they have to work better so that the 3% will also stop agitating. And so they have done well so far, but I think there is more room for improvement.
So considering the fact that the Fairwages and Salaries Commission has so far migrated almost 100% of all public sector workers onto the single spine, but you find only 3% agitating, what do you make of the work of the Fairwages so far?
Yeah, I think they've made a tremendous, improvement, because it's not easy to really organize all these things. But with the 3%, I think we need more education to really let them know the benefits that they're going to, derive from the whole process. And again, also, I think, in Ghana, the population, you need to do a lot of publicity to reach the other people that they can also participate in this process. So I think it's a very, very, very good establishment, and this will really lead us to the up, if I may say, like we can compare ourselves to the people who are really up there,
Well, at a glance and looking at the percentage you've actually, outlined, I want to believe that the Fairwages and Salary Commission is really doing well, because if it's just 3% complaining, then, well, to a large extent, they've done well in, making sure that those migrated onto the spine are really dealt with. So I would still say that though they've done well, there is still some room for improvement. So they should also, ensure that the other, let's say 3% are catered for, because usually from time to time you see that it is those who fall within the 3% who constantly keep on agitating and then complaining about their salaries and stuff. So they should find a way to, come up with a lasting solution to the others that there seem to be challenges with theirs. Yeah, that is what I would say.
Considering the fact that Fairwages and Salaries Commission has migrated about 100% of all public sector workers onto the single spine, but then you realize that only 3% are constantly agitating, what do you make of the work of the Fairwages so far?
Well, for me, I think it has been excellent. It just needs to be jaw affair, not a war affair. They just need to try and convince them. They should just have a roundtable discussion with them, try to convince them, let them know what they are about, so that they can just come into them. They can just try and make sure they also understand the work of the Fairwages and Salary Commission. For me, I think it's been perfect. They are really there for the interest of the whole people, the labor unions, everybody, all Ghanaians, those who are working, both the private and the public sector. So it just needs to be a Georgia affair, not a war affair.
Okay. So considering the fact that the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission has migrated almost 100% of all public sector workers onto the single spine, but out of this number you realize that only 3% are constantly agitating. What do you make of the work of the Fair Wages so far?
If I'm to put the Fair Wages on a scale of 10, I think I'll give them 8. Yes, 8, for the fact that not everybody under the single spine structure is satisfied. So I'll give them 8. But I think it's a good thing they've done. It shows that they're appreciating the work the people of Ghana are doing, and so they want to appreciate them more by putting them on the salary structure. It's a good thing they've done, but I think they should really integrate it more so that there'll be no more of these agitations. You know, when you do something and when it's fine, but people end up commenting about it, it doesn't look fine again. People capitalize on the bad side than the good side. So they should really integrate it more and then finish it as a whole so that it will be a nice thing. But on the whole, they've done very well. It's cool. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you think Fair Wages can collaborate effectively with organized labor to ensure a smooth implementation process?
I think the government has to come in here. The government has to come here and collaborate with the Fair Wages. This where they have to set committees. We know of committees here and there. As for Ghana, we are known for committees. So, as usual, the government can set up a committee so that they will know the problems that the Fair Wages encounters, so that we can all collaborate. The nation and everybody can collaborate so that through some suggestions and criticism that the public will also offer, the Fair Wages can also streamline the activities to make sure that their work improve.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yes, because as they've been able to achieve about, if I may say, 97%, 99%, you know, it's easier because it's been established. So with the labor, when everybody understands the whole process, I think they will conquer the whole process, and then people will really benefit. You know, because when we compare ourselves with other world like America and Europe, Asia, you know, as they were able to put things together, you know, they are really enjoying the benefits. So I think Fair Wages they've done a very good job, and then it's going to help with the up-and-coming generation, you know, and we're all going to benefit. It means that you will really benefit when you are old and you're on pension. And so I think it's a great job.
So how do you think Fair Wages and Salaries Commission can collaborate effectively with organized labor to ensure a smooth implementation process of the single spine?
Well, they just have to invite the leaders. It's just about engaging the leaders. They need to have a discussion, a roundtable discussion with them, open up to them, let them know what they are in for. And trust me, if they are able to open up with them, they will definitely agree to whatever they say. You know, when you want to start everything, it's very difficult. It takes some time, but as time goes on, I believe they'll be able to understand them or comprehend perfectly with them. So for me, I think it's been excellent work from the Fair Wages and Salary Commission, and kudos to them.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I believe that it all boils down to dialogue. They should really sit down and talk to their partners or the organizations they are working with. That's where they will come to a mutual understanding. They will understand each other, and then there will be no more of these strikes and blah blah blah. Because I'm sure the differences come up because maybe they didn't come to a mutual understanding, and so people are reading different meanings into what they discussed earlier. So they should sit down, come to a mutual understanding, benefit from each other, and then make the best out of that benefit than some people coming out to always criticize the Fair Wages that they are not doing their work well and all that. Dialogue is the root to all of this. So they should sit down and then talk more on their issues, and everything is going to be fine.
Implementation process.
You know, in that we have an adage that kenakucho you know, beba, in literally meaning that two heads are better than one, or it takes two to tango. So what I would say is that there should be frequent meeting between the Fair Wages and Salary Commission and then with organized labor. They meeting, you know, frequently or as and when necessary would make sure that they put the necessary measures in place, and then even, you know, bring about certain solutions way beforehand. When meeting, they would be able to foresee some of the challenges which are likely to emanate, and based on that, they even find solutions to those, prospective challenges before, they actually happen. And let me also take this opportunity to talk to government to also assist these two bodies to facilitate, their work. I feel by so doing, it will make the functions or the roles of these two bodies effective, and by so doing, we wouldn't be having these organized labor agitations in Ghana. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So this is what the students of the School of Journalism had to say about the single spine pay policy and the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. Over to you, Cecil.
Okay. Thank you very much. Emmanuel of Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. Yima was in town, specifically at the Institute of Journalism, talking to some student journalists about their perception. As far as the single spine pay policy is concerned. I must say, I'm impressed by some of the inputs made by some of the students. It clearly tells you that the public is aware of what is going on. But to summarize or pick up some highlights from all that was said, talking about mutual understanding, talking about the need to dialogue and all that, brings to mind a simple question which I would want to ask. Does it mean that Fair Wages and Salaries Commission does not engage organized labor in dialogue?
Hearing from what the public is saying, as you say, really, it tells the good work that the commission has been done and is still doing. And talking about dialogue, Fair Wages and Salary Commission doors are always open. Aside that, meetings that are held between the Fair Wages and Salary Commission and then the labor front, the labor union, are always frequent. Even just about a week or two, about 2, 3, 4 meetings has been held. And the issue is the parties don't take sides, but to understand and come out and do the dialogue in good faith. That is all. But assuming or as if you have already taken your side of the story or the case and you don't want to listen or you don't want to succumb to the other person's statement, it's like you are making the whole process difficult. So what I would say is we wish that all the parties involved, the government, the stakeholders, like we put it that way, must always bear in mind that when we meet, we are meeting to trash issues so that we get things done peacefully and then in harmonious way. With the issue, in my first assertion, I made a statement of where we have the category 2 and 3 allowances as an issue that also brought some workers' agitation. And really, for over 5 years, these allowances has not been reviewed. And you can imagine the volume of it as at now. So this one, we are still talking with the government and we are pleading with the government that it should expedite action on these allowances. Committees has been set on category 2 and 3 allowances, even on the 4 allowances. But we wish that immediately things must be done very fast so that these allowances negotiations will begin on them and then start to get implemented so that those agitations will also cease. Really, they are doing a good work, as the public has seen, but we wish they also expedite actions on some of our issues as well.
Now let me remind our listeners and our viewers, this is a simulcast program. It's dubbed the Single Spine the Issues, and we are live across all regional networks on radio and also live on GTV. You can also extend to us your interactions via Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, Viber, and this is running on your screen for those of you watching us. And I should also let you know that when we announce the phone lines, you rely heavily on those lines and stop sending calls to our text lines. I think this is important, and so I'll take this opportunity to announce the phone lines. For those of you who are interested to join us, why not? Feel free to do that. We will take all your comments, your concerns, and address them. My guest with me on this platform is A.G. Ampong, local chairman, Public Service Workers Union of Ghana, Atomic Energy Commission, and Yaudo Tamaklo, director in charge, man-made disasters, NADMO, and they are here with me. We're looking at organized labor's perspective on the overview of the single spine pay policy. 0302-770-111, 0302-770-222. We have someone on the line. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Tell us your name. Yes, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Moses.
Your name is?
Moses, and I'm calling from Accra.
Oh, Moses from Accra. Let me hear you, Moses.
Okay, sir. Please, with the doctors' strike and the rest, please, we work in a hospital and you will see that in a hospital, most of us have a problem to solve there. We all have problem with our salary. But I don't see no reason why doctors always struggle for just what they want. But forgetting that we all in the hospital also have problem with our salary. So we even beg the president that if he should see to this the doctors' issue, we will also go on strike. Because we will not wait for others to enjoy, and we that are also in the hospital working, we should be lagging behind, because we could see that in their salary they have a lot of benefits than us in the hospital. But they come to the hospital late and close early and go home. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Mr. Tamaklo, I'm sure you would want to address that. He's talking about the doctors, a concerned worker, that they all have problems, not only the doctors. And so when they keep on going on strike, definitely a time will come when some of them would also decide to.
Yes. Cecil,
Yeah.
it's true. A number of labor unions and associations in the country have post-migration challenges, which the Fairwages should sit up and resolve.
Let me pick another call so that you can continue. Hello, is that Bernard on the line?
Yeah, it's Bernard.
Yes, Bernard. Let's hear you, Bernard.
Yeah, Bernard, my problem is information. When we are looking for information, we don't get it. I've heard you saying that we should educate the general public about this issue. I'm trying to bring out a newspaper concerning labor, but we, the private institutions, we find it very difficult to get information from the public sector. So I think if they'll be able to solve that problem. It will help us, yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you. Information flow is what he's talking about, and the need for us to step up public education. I guess he's got to do with something else, but you were on the floor before.
Yes, you see, yes, as I was saying, every worker or most workers have post-migration challenges. Whatever it is, they will be solved as and when the process goes on. But like what the first caller said, you see, the GMA demands looks like a sort of trap.
Okay.
You see, immediately government gives in, and it has been indicated that it will be duplication of payment. Then other workers also will.
Okay. Let's pick a call. We have a call from Georgia. Hello.
Hello.
Lawrence from Georgia.
Yeah.
Let's hear you.
Please, I also want to add to the discussion.
Go ahead.
Yeah, please. I think it's unfortunate the implementation of the single spine has brought about a lot of problems. And personally, I think it's as a result of
hyping of the project or the program even before it came into implementation. And then aside that, there is this lack of education. If people were educated before the program was implemented, I don't think we'll have this problem that we are facing now. Because a lot of people were made to think that the single spine as a goal is going to solve their problem. But unfortunately, when the thing was implemented, you know, it came with other strengths here and there. So I think government must sit down and make sure its information system works so that people will get information.
Okay, all right.
Before all these things come into
Thank you. Thank you very much. And this is going out to our viewers and listeners again. Please stop sending calls to our text line. It is purposely dedicated for that. So please stop sending calls to our text line. The phone line is 0302 770 770-222. And so I will pick a few text messages. This one is saying that please let the leaders of the organization who go for meetings with Fair Wages and Salaries Commission explain certain things to their colleagues when they get back after meetings. How would you respond to this?
Yeah, it's very necessary.
Yeah,
it's very necessary.
It means that sometimes the representatives go for such meetings and they don't communicate exactly what.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. John is on the line from Kwamindan, so let's listen to John. John.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, John, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Please, I want to find out this issue of the single spine and the conditions of service of workers. It's like almost all workers are dictating, and I'm in the teaching field. Our conditions of service has expired almost 10 years ago, and we are working without any condition of service. And then this issue also about the categories 2 and 3 allowances. Some are already enjoying the allowances. Meanwhile, some of us in other public sector are being denied these allowances. So how fair is it?
Okay. Yeah, you want to take it?
With this categories 2 and 3 allowances, as you said, their condition of service has expired almost 10 years ago. And it was a plea from the government and even through our mother unions that we should still have a little time and wait when the single spine pay policy gets implemented. And we are almost in the 3rd year. We are almost in the 4th year. I would say so, because 2010, 2011, 2012, this is the 4th year.
And I'm told as at Friday, about 99.83% of public sector
has been migrated.
Yes.
Leaving about only 9 organizations, totaling about 730 something.
736.
Yeah.
Yes. So it is our wish.
That will form about 2%.
Yes. Yes. Less than 2%.
No, less than
0.2%.
Yes.
Is it our wish that this second and third categories of allowances should be dealt with very fast?
Hold on. John has joined us from Achim Ayirebi. He is on the line with us. John, let me hear you.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, John.
My problem has to do with categories of allowances. we learned that the teachers went on or they were migrated without any allowance. And some of the doctors were migrated with certain allowances. Now, we are going to talk about category 2 and 3 allowances. Are they going to benefit from that one too? Or theirs is over? Thank you.
Okay, all right. Let me read through this text message quickly. With all that I have heard, if all that I have heard is anything to go by, then doctors do not have a case. They should let police and soldiers go on strike for just 30 minutes, and we will see what will happen. Doctors will also know whether they are better than others. And this is from Mark from Accra, anyway. We have less than a minute, I'm told, for us to wrap up this segment. But let's land on your point, and then I'll also give.
And really looking at the value of the allowances that are supposed to be negotiated now, which are not, it's like it's nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
because it's still those who are even enjoying those allowances, they are still taking it on their previous salary structure or grading, which is nothing to talk about now. So as the last caller made it, others are not getting anything there because previously they may not be able to, or they were not even given anything.
Yeah.
But this single spine pay policy gives way for most of the staff. Category 2 and 3 allowances, category 2 allowances are job related. Category 3 are also welfare, which cut across the whole country, all workers. Yes. But there are few of the allowances that if you are not doing that work, you may not even get it.
Yeah.
Like a driver going out of station, taking that allowance, you are at an office working, the driver will take that particular out of station allowance, but you may not be given that one.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
Yeah, let me hear you, and then we can.
Yeah, it is true to some extent that the single spine pay policy was hyped, or I could say overhyped. So expectation of workers went
Also
very high.
went high.
However, whatever it is, let us keep our fingers crossed. And I hope Mr. Graham is listening. The category 2, 3, and 4 allowances. We will plead with the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission to actually quicken action on these areas. And yes, we know that Fair Wages and Salaries Commission themselves, they've not been migrated. And we know that they also have certain challenges. We will plead with the ministry to help them.
Thank you. I've just been signaled that our time is up. It's wonderful having you on our platform. But Francis has a very wonderful text. Maybe I can end with that one. He says this is an enlightening program, and so he wants to know whether pharmacy technicians and other staff in the pharmacies and government hospitals with issues of the single spine pay policy, they are in the house and they are not working, whether they, we should do something about it, because he knows for a fact that they will surely be paid. They will take their salaries for not working. Anyway, thank you so much. We will come back same time next week to continue with our public education on single spine, the issue. So please stay with us. This is Unique FM. Did I say Unique FM? We are live across the 10 regions of Ghana on all our regional networks and also on GTV. And so I say a big thanks to my technical crew, production crew, and to all of you out there. Same time next week, Saturday, we will be here. Stay blessed.